a footballer who deliberately misses a penalty, players who take care of an injured referee, and Foster who congratulates the opposing goalkeeper for his save. Here are 25 emotional fair play moments in football. For example, this scene.
This time for Rondon. Straight at the face of Bennett, who
The Newcastle player sees that the opponent has been injured, and instead of taking advantage of it and continuing the attack, he immediately kicked the ball out of play. That's how it's done. And also this youth team from Barca here with a big fair play moment. The U14 team won against the U14 from Japan. They were really sad about it. And what did the Barca youth players do? They comforted their opponents. We are in stoppage time in the Premier League match Chelsea against Watford. Chelsea leads by 1 goal and Watford brings goalkeeper Foster forward for one last attack.
flick on! Oh my goodness!
Wow, what an insane save! Even Foster congratulated the opposing goalkeeper. That is very fair. England against Brazil, an intense match. Bellingham in pain and with a cramp, but the Brazilian players immediately come to help him. No player wants to injure another, but that sometimes happens in football. Here in France, this dramatic scene when Monaco player Singo collided with Donnarumma. Donnarumma was badly hit and had to go off the field. Singo felt really sorry and apologized again to the goalkeeper in the tunnel afterwards. And Donnarumma is not the only one suffering, because as we all know, he injured Musiala badly.
Oh, there's a coming together.
You can see how affected the goalkeeper was. Musiala suffered a fibular fracture, and after the match, Gigi posted this on Instagram: "Get well soon, Musiala." And he commented, "Thank you, and don't worry, that happens in football." But the Bayern officials were furious about the challenge from Donnarumma.
Naja, wenn ich mit 100 Kilo und in dem Sprint auf dem Unterschenkel draufspringe, ist Gefahr groß, dass was passiert.
And what did Musiala say about it?
I'm in good care, and I wanted to say there's no one to blame for this. I think situations like this happen.
Now, to one of the most emotional comebacks football has ever seen. Nabil Bentaleb was a professional at Lille in 2024, but during a private football match, he suffered a cardiac arrest. He barely survived, but in the hospital a pacemaker was implanted. Many doctors agreed continuing to play football was too risky, and they said Bentaleb should end his career at just 29 years old. But he refused to give up and fought through months of rehab and medical tests until the Medical Commission of the French Football Federation finally gave the green light on February 12, 2025. He made his comeback in 2025, 8 months after his collapse. And it was like a movie. Only 4 minutes after coming on, he scored a goal. What a moment. Take a look at this scene. Rondon accidentally injured McCarthy badly, and he was visibly shaken by it. And after the match, he also sent get well wishes on Instagram. Also, dramatic scenes from Austria here.
Dann überschlagen sich die Ereignisse. Atmen Sie tief durch, liebe Zuschauer. Hier, wer Ratschnick trifft, Georg Teigl unabsichtlich mit dem Knie.
The player accidentally knocked out his opponent, but immediately the players ran to him to help. Everything turned out fine, and so the two opponents hugged each other because they were relieved. Dortmund against Schalke is often heated, but this moment was really fair. Dortmund player Guerrero was lying on the ground during a Schalke attack.
Both sides, Williams' ball was just a little bit generalized.
The Schalke player didn't want to take advantage of the situation and played the ball out fairly. That's how it's done. Just like here.
Fantástico passe longo Silvio por parte do guarda-redes do Foco. Portanto, atenção, PP pode evitar-se marcar.
The Porto player sees that the opponent is injured, and instead of taking advantage, he stops playing, for which the opposing team thanked him. But not only players get fouled, sometimes referees do too, like here.
Just when they needed it the most, but
Casemiro immediately apologized, and the referee took it with humor. In this scene, however, the referee got injured, but the players immediately came to help with his cramp.
mal el árbitro, no sé, pero está.
Now, to an incredibly emotional moment. This woman flew from Hong Kong to Mexico just to see Chicharito.
How are you? What's your name? Frankie. Where are you coming from? From Hong Kong. Oh my God, look, come here. Come here.
And she even brought gifts for his children. Chicha took his time in a very sweet way and gave her autographs on the jerseys.
Let's do this, okay? Oh, come down. Thank you for coming. You have a marker? Yes, you are prepared, right? I love that. Oh, come down. It's fine.
Football is emotional, and you especially see these emotions at the World Cup. But not every nation can be there. In 2023, the women's national team of Panama participated for the first time. In the first match, they lost 0-4 against Brazil. In the second, 0-1 against Jamaica. The last match was against France. Panama was already eliminated.
At the big stage, and it's Cox. 69 seconds.
That was Panama's first ever goal at a Women's World Cup, and the team celebrated it like a winning goal in a final.
For Panama.
Ronaldo became a star at Manchester United, and when he played with Real for the very first time at Manchester United, he was welcomed like this. The club still loved him. An emotional moment for Ronaldo. And then in the match, this scene.
Ozil, clever flick. Higuain tried it across, and Real Madrid are in front.
He scored a goal, but didn't want to celebrate it. A fair action from him. It's 2020 Carabao Cup round of 16 between Chelsea and Tottenham. It went to penalty shootout.
It has been scored. Until now, he's missed it. And Spurs are going through to the next round of the
Dyer didn't celebrate with his teammates. Instead, he first comforted Chelsea's Mason Mount. Also beautiful this moment. Portugal was in Armenia for the World Cup qualification matches. And these two kids were allowed to walk on with Ronaldo and were extremely happy about it. During the Armenian anthem, the boys sang along, which clearly made Ronaldo happy. Tottenham fan Riley has cerebral palsy, so Son, when he was still at Spurs, wanted to visit him, and look at Riley's reaction.
Oh, beautiful guy, God, how are you doing? You alright?
Good, thank you.
You good?
Yeah.
That's a dream come true, isn't it?
Dream come true for me as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sonny.
What a cool action from Son. And if you say, hey, these are cool videos, then I would appreciate if you subscribe. Unfortunately, there are also unpleasant moments in football. For example, players are often racially abused. That's why this was a great action in the match of the Netherlands.
His promise.
Wijnaldum and De Jong with a celebration that shows no matter what skin color, we are all equal. We all remember the terrible images when Eriksen collapsed on the pitch. He returned a month later and played his first match.
Team Krul, very Eriksen-like. That'll be a yellow card, surely.
Something special for him to be back on the pitch for himself and to be involved in that. I felt like he needed a hug.
That's a really fair and kind gesture. The player was so happy that Eriksen was back that he forgot his anger after Eriksen pulled him down and gave him a hug. And also extremely emotional, this gesture. The captain of the football club Kalmar was fighting cancer, and because he lost his hair due to the therapy, his teammates shaved their heads in support. It's summer 2025, and this message shocked the football world. Diogo Jota died after a car accident. He was a player who always brought good vibes and supported his teammates. For example, when Luis Diaz's father was kidnapped, he honored him with this celebration. After Jota's death, therefore, this celebration in memory of him. And he was not the only one.
New look.
Also emotional, the story of Kevin Anin. He was a highly talented player at Nice, but in 2013 he had a severe car accident and has been paralyzed from the waist down since that day. At 26, his career as a professional ended. In 2021, he visited a Nice match, a very emotional moment. And our last moment, a very, very big fair play gesture. In Turkey, Gaziantep played against Göztepe. In stoppage time, there was a drop ball.
Şimdi doğrudan kaleye doğru direkten döndü. Direkten döndü. Gol pozisyonu, gol!
The ball was actually supposed to be played back to the goalkeeper, but the ball went over him, hit the crossbar, and Göztepe scored a goal. Gaziantep was furious, but then fair play. Göztepe let them score a goal.
Şu anda bıraktı Göztepe'li oyuncular. Figueiredo kendi gidiyor. Göztepe'li oyuncular Figueiredo'yu bıraktı. Dünyada daha önce yaşanan birçok...
But the match wasn't over yet. We're in the 7th minute of stoppage time.
Figueiredo çalım attı, yerde kaldı.
Foul, and the referee gave a penalty. But look at Demir's action.
Muhammed geldi, Muhammed dışarı attı.
He saw it as unfair, especially because they were allowed to score a goal before, so he missed deliberately. Very, very fair. And if you want to see crazy moments when footballers are recognized on the streets, then check out this video.